essentials on the day of the exam. This video helped you to understand the process so that you are well prepared for the exam day. Here's all you need to know about taking a digital exam. Sit back and enjoy the video. This candidate has opted for a digital mode of exams. Let us take a journey to see how to prepare for an online exam. As the exam date approaches, the candidate must be familiar with the exam schedule. Additionally, the candidate must refer to the admit card or call letter for details such as test center address, exam schedule, list of documents that he or she needs to carry. The candidate also needs to make sure that the ID proof has a clear photo and signature. The mode of transport is very important, as candidate arriving late will not be allowed to enter the test center. Finally, the exam day arrives. Before leaving home, candidates must verify the documents needed, including the ID proof, the admit card, and/or the call letter. The candidate leaves home well in time to reach the test center at least an hour and a half before the exam. The candidates make sure not to carry any unnecessary items, as there might not be a locker facility at the test center. The candidate arrives well in time at the gate of the allocated test center. At the gate, a volunteer checks all the relevant documents listed in the admit card or call letter and guides the candidate towards the notice board. On entering the test center, the candidate walks calmly to the notice board as directed by the volunteer. The notice board displays the roll number along with block, building, or room allocation. After the candidate verifies his or her roll number on the notice board, a volunteer near the notice board provides directions to that room. In case of any doubt, the candidate follows the sign pasted on the campus and hallway to the allocated room. The invigilator meets the candidate at the entrance of the room and verifies the document carried by the candidate before he or she is allowed to enter the room. The invigilator then leads the candidate to a seat and hands him or her a sheet for rough work. The candidate must listen carefully to the instructions read out by the invigilator and also read the instructions provided on the blackboard. There are certain rules the candidate must adhere to while taking the exam. Cell phones are not allowed in the room. Malpractice or disturbing other candidates will not be tolerated during the exam. The computer mouse must be used to answer the questions. Touching the keyboard will lock the candidate's system. The candidate must also sign the attendance sheet. The invigilator verifies the signature against that in the admit card or ID proof. If there are any discrepancies in the photograph or signature on the attendance sheet, the invigilator brings it to the notice of the authorized personnel at the help zone, following which an incident is registered. The invigilator announces the procedure to begin the initial login 10 minutes prior to the start of the exam. On accessing the link of the exam, the candidate receives a message to click OK to begin the exam. The candidate's roll number will already be present in the roll number field. The candidate uses the virtual keyboard to enter the password as mentioned in the admit card or provided by the invigilator and clicks Sign In. The candidate's profile information will be displayed. If there are no discrepancies in the information displayed, the candidate can click I confirm to proceed with the exam. The candidate reads the instructions provided on the screen, selects a language from the default language drop-down list and clicks the I am ready to begin link. The exam comprises multiple choice questions. The candidate selects the correct answers using the mouse. If the keyboard is used, it will lock the system. The candidate can manage time better with features such as timer and color-coordinated status of the questions on the right-hand side panel. The answered questions are in green. The unanswered questions are in red. The questions not yet visited or viewed are white, and the questions marked for review are violet. There are various options available to the candidate while taking the online exam. After answering a question, the candidate can select the Save and Next option to move to the next question. To change an answer for a particular question, the candidate can click the Clear Response button and select another answer. If unsure of an answer, the candidate can mark it for review using Mark for Review and Next button. All these question numbers will appear with the respective colors in the right-hand panel of the screen. The candidate can click the buttons on the lower side of the number panel to view the questions, view profile information, review the instructions, and submit the exam once the Submit button is enabled. The candidate can view the status of answered and unanswered questions by hovering the mouse cursor over the section name on top of the screen. To move between sections, the candidate only needs to click the section name on top of the screen. At any time during the exam, if the candidate accidentally touches the keyboard, the system will get locked. For this and any other technical issues faced during the exam, the candidate must remain calm and inform the invigilator about the same at the earliest. This will ensure minimal time lost while the issue is being rectified. After this, the candidate can continue with the exam while the invigilator registers the incident. After answering all the questions, the candidate can reconfirm the status by checking the right-hand side panel on the screen. After the Submit button is enabled, the candidate clicks it to submit the exam. A summary of the selections made will be displayed. The candidate can click Yes to finally submit the online exam or No to review the answers again. After submitting the exam, a feedback form appears. The candidate fills and submits the feedback form. The candidate returns the rough worksheet, makes sure nothing is left behind, and leaves the test center on completion of the exam. The candidate adheres to all the instructions set down by the exam governing body and completes the exam successfully. We hope you have found this video helpful in guiding you to take the digital exams.